Hi, this is David Bradley, and in the next 7 minutes, I'm going to basically spit in the face of all the thieves, crooks, and liars who have been sucking cash out of your pocket and forcing you to pay unfair rates on power for you and your family. Show you the secret real reason your electric bill is criminally high, even though you've been doing everything you possibly can to conserve, and right in the middle of recession when times couldn't be tighter and you deserve a break. And we'll teach you how you can slash your electric bill by 75% or more this month, while keeping your home warm, cozy, and comfortable, leaving the thermostat exactly where you want it without worrying or giving it a second thought, protecting your family and making your home 100% immune to power outages, brownouts, blackouts, storms, or domestic emergencies. And without ever having to act like a power Nazi, constantly yelling at your kids to shut the lights or turn off the TV again. In fact, if you simply do what I say in this short video and put it into action like over 102,000 hardworking Americans have before you, you'll sit back with a huge, goofy grin on your face, the TV running, every light in the house on, knowing that instead of paying through the nose and suffering under high power costs like everybody else, you're getting all the power you and your family need absolutely free. Who the heck am I to make such a huge promise? Like I said, my name is David Bradley. I'm a 47-year-old electrician. I live in Duluth, Minnesota with my beautiful wife and 2 gorgeous little girls. And over the last 4 years, I've helped over 102,000 hard-working regular Americans just like you to escape the government electricity addiction and learn how to create your own power. Faster, cheaper, and easier than you ever thought possible, even if you're not very handy and haven't touched a screwdriver since high school shop class. And how easy it is to create your own power in your very backyard just by following a few easy steps. I'm going to reveal to you exactly how to escape the government power trap in just a minute. But before I do, I hope you won't mind if I tell you why I care so deeply about helping you get off the grid and protect your family the way the government and the power company won't. If you're a parent, or even if you just have a heart, I'm sure you can imagine how horrible I felt, how ashamed I felt when my beautiful little girl, Abby, came running up to me with her teddy bear in her arms and blanket wrapped around her, and with lips that were almost blue, whimpered, "Daddy, I'm cold." This was 6 years ago, when Abby was just 3. If you've ever been to Minnesota, you know that it gets cold in the winter. 20 below is normal, and even on a good day, just walking outside can feel like getting slapped in the face. This one winter in 2004, the snow dumped on us over 4 feet in just a night, and just like every winter, the power lines practically snapped like twigs. I knew from experience that it would be hours or days before the government could get the juice flowing again. I fired up the generator and the wood stove, tried not to think of the crushing cost of gas and the hundreds that I was going to have to spend just to keep us warm for the night. And while it was okay for a while, around midnight, the generator just choked and sputtered and died. The whole house got dark, and all we could hear was the wind whipping against the side of the house, and all we could feel was the cold. Me and Molly and our girls cuddled for warmth by the stove, and all night I could feel little Abby under the blanket with me, shivering and shaking, and whispering in my ear, "Daddy, make it warm again." And I felt mad. Mad at the government, mad at the snow, but most of all mad at myself for putting my little girl in a position where she had to suffer like this. I was her dad. I was supposed to protect her, and I swore right then and there that I would never let my little girl suffer again. When the power finally came back on, it took almost 2 days this time. I got on the computer and tried to figure out what to do. Relying on the electric company just wasn't an option. I'd been watching my power bills move upwards like they were climbing the side of Everest for years. I felt like I was giving blood every time I paid the bill, and knew, with shortening supplies of oil and nuclear disasters, the price of electricity was going to go up, not down. Besides, even if the price of power went down, which I knew wasn't going to happen, I'd still be dependent on the power company to keep me and my family safe and warm. If they couldn't keep the power on during a simple snowstorm, what chance did we have if things actually got bad? I thought about buying a bigger, newer generator, but with gas at over $3 a gallon, that was as good as committing financial suicide. Nope, there was really only one option. If I wanted to save money and protect my family, I'd need to use everything I knew to create my own power and get 100% off the grid. That way, it wouldn't matter if the power went out for everyone else. It wouldn't matter if the generator ran out of gas. It wouldn't matter if the cost of electricity doubled or tripled for everyone else. It wouldn't matter if the whole world was suffering blackouts and brownouts, if we suddenly ran out of coal or oil, or if something else terrible happened in a nuclear reactor. If I could create my own power, my little girls would always be safe and warm and protected, no matter what. If I could create my own power, my home would be a little island of light, no matter how dark it got anywhere else. As soon as the power was back up, I got to work like a man possessed. The first thing I did was start looking for solar panels. Like I said before, I'm an electrician by trade. Molly likes to say I've got electricity in my veins from all the years spent wiring up houses and commercial buildings, and I knew full well that lighting and heating a 4-bedroom house like mine with solar power shouldn't just be doable, it should be downright easy. All I'd need to do is set up some simple solar panels and batteries, and even in the dark Minnesota winters, we'd have plenty of power to keep the lights and the heat on, no matter what happened anywhere else. There was only one problem. When I went to the store and looked at the price of commercial solar panels, I felt like I'd been mugged. Honestly, it pissed me off. Every store I went to, every retailer I found online was selling solar kits that, to a regular guy like me, seemed abusively expensive. I knew from all my work as an electrician that the components of a high-quality, high-efficiency solar panel that could draw all the power you need, even on a cloudy day, were downright cheap. But all the solar kits I found in stores and online were marked up like crazy by greedy corporations that were just trying to rip me off. And even the most affordable setup was thousands of dollars, which Molly and I just didn't have. And as I kept searching online, I found all these messages from people just like you and me. Regular, hard-working folks who were sick of being dependent on the incompetent government for their electricity, who wanted to get control of their electricity, stop contributing to our country's dependence on foreign oil, and stop paying out the nose just to keep the air conditioning running in the summer or to watch the ball game on TV, and who were too smart to get ripped off by these ridiculously overpriced kits. So I did what my dad taught me to do years ago. I put on my thinking cap and I decided to solve the problem. The very next weekend, I went to the store and bought all the stuff I knew I'd need to create the kind of high-efficiency solar panels I wanted for my home. And even though the kits were priced at $600 or more, I managed to get everything I needed for just $92.17. And here's a picture of me working in my garage that weekend. It only took about a day of work, though I actually had a pretty good time, but using a little bit of elbow grease and some pretty basic electric know-how, I was able to put my whole home power plant, including solar panels, batteries, and even a miniature wind turbine, a lot easier to build than you think, for just $197.15, including tax. Less than 1/8 the cost the big companies were asking for panels and batteries that just weren't as good. But that was just the beginning. A few weeks later, I got my power bill. I was a little nervous about opening it up. After all, what if I'd messed up and spent all that time and money on something that didn't work? But I bet you can imagine the smile on my face when I tore open the bill and found out the very first month I was able to slash my energy costs by a whopping 74%, and that was just the first month. Actually, it wasn't even a month. Since we were in the middle of a billing cycle, it was only about 3 weeks that I actually had my new home power plant up. I knew I'd see even better results the second month. once I had my wind turbine set up and made some tweaks to the system. And when I opened my bill for month 2, I'll admit it, I whooped for joy. I hadn't just cut my power bill, I destroyed it. A full month of power, something that used to cost me $240, was now absolutely nothing. I was so happy about the money I saved that I decided to use it to take my 2 little girls, Abby and Sarah, to a Build-A-Bear at the mall and let them create the teddy bear of their dreams. And sitting there watching my beautiful daughters play, I had this tickling in my brain that the simple methods I'd used to outsmart the power company and the big corporations that were trying to rip you off for solar and wind power could be used by a lot of people. That night, I started outlining my methods, all the simple steps I'd taken to create my home power plant and save me and my family thousands of dollars. A few days later, I had a rough document on my computer. I'd worked really hard to make sure it was easy to read and simple and not full of electro jargon. But if I was going to let the world see what I was up to, I needed some pretty definitive proof that anybody could use my system to build their own solar panels and wind power and cut their power bills literally overnight. So I called my idiot brother Tom. Now, I love my little brother Tom, but he's not exactly handy. He works behind a desk all day, pushing numbers around, and I don't think he's touched his screwdriver since high school shop class. But when I asked Tom if he wanted to cut his power bills, he leapt at the chance. And even though he's never done any wiring in his life, he was able to put together his solar panels in just one weekend and saw a 40% drop in his power bill right away, had all the backup power he needed the next time a storm hit, and is paying next to nothing for electricity now. And Tom was just the beginning. From there, I started sharing my home power secrets with friends of mine around town, and again the results were the same. Even folks who weren't technical or handy were able to grasp exactly what to do to build their own solar panels and wind power, even though a lot of them thought it would be too complicated before they got started, and to slash their electric bills to the bone. Eventually, my brother, my neighbors, and especially my beautiful wife ganged up on me and told me I had to share my system with the world, and that there were too many hard-working folks out there who could really benefit from what we were doing. So, after months of hard work, writing the manuals, shooting video, and testing everything to make sure anybody could use it, the Power Freedom System was born. Trusted by over 102,000 families in America, Canada, and around the world. The Power Freedom System is a complete step-by-step program designed to give you everything you need to slash your monthly electric bill by 50, 75, even 100%, so you never pay an electric bill again. And it's been designed from the ground up to be easy to use. If you've passed 3rd grade and can use a screwdriver, you can build and install your own solar panels and wind power on your property. When you grab the Power Freedom System, you'll learn secret electricity thieves, why your appliances are stealing money out of your wallet every moment they're off, and how to stop power leakage without ever having to unplug a single thing. The magic box device that instantly lowers your power bill by at least 10%, even if you never use solar or wind power in your home. I discovered this little beauty as an electrician, but the big power companies are going to court to have it banned. The renewable energy myth. What's really going on with coal, oil, and nuclear power, and why big energy corporations have been lying to you for years. But most of all, you'll learn how to create your very own home power plant that slashes the amount you pay for electricity literally overnight. Because I want to make the Power Freedom System as simple and easy for you to use as possible, I've recorded every step you need to follow in 3 simple, straightforward videos. Video 1, how to build your own super efficient solar panels. In this professionally produced video, I'll walk you through every step of creating your own pro-grade solar panels at a cost literally 1/10 what you'll pay for prefab panels at the store. In this video, you'll discover the shocking reason off-the-shelf solar panels are so expensive. Hint, you're being ripped off. And how to build your own high-efficiency solar panels that work even on cloudy days for less than $100, even if you're not technical and haven't touched a screwdriver since shop class in high school. The dark side of solar power, what can go wrong with a solar panel installation? Not much, but if you don't read this section, you could be setting yourself up for a minor disaster. Why off-the-shelf solar panels are so bulky, and how to get twice the wattage out of half the space by making a tiny tweak in the design and setup of your new solar array. And much more. Video 2, how to build a high-power wind generator. Remember, our goal here is free power, and I don't think even the government can figure out a way to charge you for the very air we breathe. In your How to Build a High-Power Wind Generator video, you'll get step-by-step, dead simple instructions on creating a compact wind turbine that will pump out up to 450 watts even on calm days when you don't think there's wind at all. Personally, I think of wind and solar as the tag team of free power. Use just one, and you'll slash your power bill in no time flat. Use both, and you'll be shocked as you drive your power bill down to zero. Unplug yourself from the grid and become 100% self-sufficient, creating all the abundant free power you could ever need. Video 3, the Power Freedom Installation Guide. How to install your very own solar and wind power plant and save thousands. Think you have to hire an expensive expert to install your solar panels and wind turbine? Think again. The Power Freedom Installation Guide video is essentially your home power Bible. I've taken everything I know about generating power from wind and solar, translated it as much as possible into regular guy language, and created a step-by-step guide that covers every law, every possible screw-up, and every challenge you might face in creating your very own mini power plant. In the installation guide video, I'll show you exactly where to place your high-efficiency Power Freedom panels so they suck up sunlight like a Hoover sucks up dirt. Think it's obvious where you should place your panels? You couldn't be more wrong. Picking the wrong spot, even if it's right in the sun, could cut your power production by half or more. How to tune your wind turbine to draw maximum power from the air, and a simple trick you can use to find the perfect spot for your turbine in seconds flat. Hire a pro, and they'll use a bunch of fancy equipment to figure out where to put your turbine, and will still end up putting it in the wrong place. And that's just the videos themselves. Because I want to make this as easy as possible for you, I am also going to include 3 complete Power Freedom manuals. There is nothing more annoying than having to constantly step back a video to check a detail or to see how I'm showing you to do something. That's why I've personally written companion manuals and workbooks to go along with each video. In the workbooks, you'll get step-by-step illustrated instructions so you can make sure you're doing everything the proven Power Freedom way. Here's my promise to you. Simply follow the Power Freedom system, and you'll be shocked at how quickly you're able to build and install your very own home power plant, at how much power you're able to generate right there on your property, and at the drastic savings in your electric bill the very first month. This was incredibly easy. I can't believe how much money I'm saving, says Paul Davis of Charlotte, North Carolina. We are so glad we did not spend a whole lot of money on professionals to do it for us. In fact, we're pretty sure that you've saved us thousands of dollars. Mary and John Rustin from Flagstaff, Colorado. Thank you for the money savings and also for teaching us practical methods of saving the planet. Adrian Tent, Little Rock, Arkansas. And that's just a tiny taste of the emails I get every day from men and women all over the world who have used the Power Freedom system with amazing results. But you know what? Just to prove how much I care about you and your family, I want to be really generous here and give you 3 valuable bonuses just for trying out the Power Freedom System today. These bonuses are yours free, even if you decide that the Power Freedom System isn't for you. First, I want to give you my new book, bonus number 1. Emergency Power, Your Survival Guide. I don't think I have to tell you that we live in a dangerous world with natural disasters seemingly happening every day. The constant threat of war and even gross injustices happening right here in our borders. The only person you can trust to take care of you and your family is you. That's why I've compiled this in-depth survival guide to help protect you and your family the next time an emergency strikes. In the guide, you'll learn how to create a solar water distiller and how to purify even the dirtiest rainwater completely off the grid. How to create a simple solar oven to cook dangerous raw food. I think you know this, but eating raw meat can cause horrible disease quickly. With your solar oven, you'll be able to keep your family fed and healthy no matter what occurs. How to create an emergency preparedness kit, and the 3 weird items you must have in your kit that the government simply never tells you about. Honestly, it pisses me off that so many emergency kits are missing so much. How to survive any storm and exactly what to do when the wind kicks up and the rain starts coming down to make sure you and your family are safe, happy, and warm. Plus, you'll get my 5-point readiness plan that lets you see into the future and make your home absolutely hazard-proof before an emergency strikes. Plus, I'll give you bonus number 2, advanced power-saving technologies. I've discovered a little device that captures wasted power spikes in your electricity to reduce your power bill an additional 17%. And the best part, all you have to do is plug it in. You won't find this anywhere else. And bonus number 3, done for you IRS tax rebate forms. Did you know the government will pay you just for setting up your own solar panels and wind turbine? It's true. Almost every state in the union gives generous rebates to smart men and women who create their own power. The downside is, like everything the government is involved in, actually getting your rebate can mean digging through endless red tape. So I've decided to package up all the forms you need and give you exact instructions on how to use them to get your rebate. How much of a rebate? Well, depending on the state, you can get between 30 to 65% back within a few short months of setting up your system. So, how do you get started? By now, you're probably wondering how much you have to invest in the Power Freedom System, plus the Emergency Power Survival Guide, the Advanced Power Saving Technologies book, and the tax rebate forms. Honestly, I've done a lot of research, and there's really no other program like this in existence. So let's just think about the alternatives you could try, or that you've probably tried already, only to throw up your hands in frustration when they were either too expensive or too complicated or both. You could try paying an expert to install solar panels and wind power on your property. But I can tell you from experience dealing with these guys, they'll add upcharge after upcharge to the equipment. We'll ask at least $50 an hour for installation, and we'll milk that time for all it's worth. And because it's not their house, we'll probably do a pretty shabby job. Next, you could try buying off-the-shelf solar panels, batteries, and equipment. Doing that will cost you at least $1,500 for a good system. But you know what? Without the right know-how on how to install your equipment and how to get it all to work together, the odds are you'll end up with a very expensive lawn ornament. A bunch of expensive equipment that never quite worked right, wasn't installed right, and causes you more headache than it solves. Let me ask you this. When it really comes down to it, this isn't even about dollars and cents. It's about power, control, and security for you and your family. And I'm not even sure you can put a price on that. How much is it worth to you to know that your family is disaster-proof in so many ways? And how are you going to feel years from now when electricity prices continue to skyrocket, knowing that you could have opted out of paying obnoxious rates for power but chose not to? The regular retail price of the Power Freedom System is just $99.97, which everybody who's actually used the program tells me is a total steal. Why? Well, just think about it for a second. How many hundreds or thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars have you wasted over the years paying out the nose to the electric company? Like I said earlier in this video, when I started using the Power Freedom system, I saw an immediate 74% drop in my electric bill, which made my wife really happy. And within 2 months, I was free. I was completely off the grid, making all the power I need, finally getting rid of that crazy anxiety I used to feel every time I turned the light on or one of my kids forgot to turn off the TV. I gotta tell you, when you get actual power freedom, it feels really damn good. But what if you don't get those results? I don't see why you wouldn't, but what the heck? What if you only drop your monthly electric bill by 50%? Heck, what if you only drop it 20%? Even if you only drop your electric bill by a measly 25 or 30 bucks a month, that's over $300 in the next year, over $1,500 over the next 5 years, and thousands for as long as you live in your house. And 25 or 30 bucks a month is nothing. You could just use one trick from the manual and forget everything else and save that much. And that's without even going into how much more your home is going to be worth after you install this system. You could easily add $10,000 to the sale price of your home, which should make $97 seem like the total bargain it is. But you know what? I want to make this a real falling off a log decision for you, and I want you to experience for yourself how easy this actually is. Last year, I decided to run a sale on the Power Freedom system where I offered a 30% discount on the program and offered it for just $69.97. But because you've watched this far through this video, because I can tell you're really serious about this, I want to go one better for you. I want to offer you the full Power Freedom system families all over the country are raving about, plus all the bonuses valued together at $198.85 for just $49.97 if you act right now. But I'm not done. See, I really want you to know that you can trust me here. I can't do this for everybody, and I'll have to take this down soon. But if you act right now, I'll also give you lifetime premium support. Listen, no matter how hard I work to make Power Freedom the most complete and easy-to-follow system it can be, there are always going to be questions and particular situations that come up that we just can't cover in the material. That's why I want to give you my personal email address and the address of my support team. If you ever have any question about creating your own electricity, or if you ever feel like anything is unclear, simply send us an email and we'll bend over backwards to make sure you get the information and the guidance you need. That means you're never out in the cold and can rest easy knowing you'll be taken care of when you grab the Power Freedom system today. And all you have to do to get started and experience real results for yourself is click the big shiny Add to Cart button below. If you've watched this far into this video, you can probably already feel how much simpler and easy this is than anything you've ever seen before. And I bet you can imagine how it's going to feel next time a storm comes rolling through your town, blowing over trees and knocking out power lines, to know that you and your family will be sitting warm and safe and happy while everybody else is huddling around candles and shivering through the night. All you have to do to get off the grid, kick your power addiction, and even help save the planet is click the Add to Cart button below. Simply enter your information on the next page and you'll get instant access to the complete program. And you'll lock in the special discount price on the full program now, before I have to raise it. And here's why. This is basically free. Actually, it's better than free. Listen, I know money might be tight for you right now, and I want you to feel 100% confident about grabbing the Power Freedom system today. That's why I'm going to go out on a limb here and offer you my 100% satisfaction, you'll cut your power bill or you don't pay guarantee. Here's how it works. Simply click the Add to Cart button below. Grab your copy of the program, dig into the material, read the easy-to-follow manuals, watch the videos like over 102,000 people across the country have before you. Use this stuff. If you aren't 100% satisfied, if you don't believe with all of your heart that using this simple system will save you money and help you and your family become truly safe and energy independent at any time for the next 2 months, simply let me know, and I'll refund your tiny investment right away with no questions asked. Listen, the way I was raised is to do right by people, and I personally don't believe I deserve your money unless I over-deliver on my promises and unless you get astonishing results. Plus, I know from experience and from the over 102,000 folks who have used the Power Freedom system and seen the meter on their electric bill run backwards that you're going to be thrilled with this program, that you're going to be amazed at how easy it is to get off the grid and create the power you and your family need, at how easy it is to help our country get off its oil addiction, and at how much money you save each and every month on your power bill. If you're like most folks who grab Power Freedom, this system will more than pay for itself the very first month you use it, which is why I'm willing to be so generous with my guarantee and give you 2 full months to make up your mind about whether or not this program is for you. Plus, just to sweeten the pot even more, if you take action in the next 15 minutes and grab Power Freedom, I'll include 3 more books absolutely free. In them, I'll show you how to slash your fuel costs 40% or more, saving you hundreds of dollars a year on gasoline. Again, all you have to do to get started is click the big, shiny, inviting Add to Cart button below, and you'll get the full Power Freedom program right away. But you really do have to act now. I'm selling the complete Power Freedom program plus all the bonuses for just $49.97 now as a market test. But I'm probably going to have to raise the price and maybe even double it in the near future. See, my friends and I have a little bet going, and if I lose, you'll lose too. They keep telling me that at $49.97, Power Freedom is too cheap, and the people aren't going to believe that they can get such incredible results for less than you pay for your kid to get a new video game, which means I might have to raise the price and charge everyone else more just to get this out to as many folks as possible. But you can still grab Power Freedom at the drastically discounted price if you act right now. Listen, I don't want to pressure you here, but you've got a really simple choice to make. Right now, as you watch this video, you're at a crossroads. That's going to affect not just your bank account, but your happiness, your security, and the safety of your family for years to come. And when you think about it, you've really just got 3 options. 1, do nothing. Let this video end, leave this site behind, and keep feeling like you're going to have a heart attack every time you open up your electric bill. Keep acting like a power Nazi around the house, constantly worrying about every last watt of power. Keep sweating your ways through the summers and freezing your way through the winters, all because you want to save a few bucks. Keep contributing to the problem, gobbling up our natural resources and keeping us addicted to foreign sources of power. 2, take what you learned today and try to figure out your own system for creating real power for your home. Honestly, you can try this, but I can tell you from experience that it's really not a good idea. Heck, I've worked in the power business my whole adult life, and it still took me months of work and research to figure out how to create a system that would actually save me money. Now, let me ask you a question. Would you rather reinvent the wheel every time you leave the house, or would you rather just climb into your car and get where you're going? It took me a lot of time and effort and energy and work to create the Power Freedom system, to test it and to make sure that even non-technical folks like my brother could follow it and use it. And it's way too easy to mess this up and spend a lot of money while you're experimenting. buy the wrong kind of panel or forget a particular part, and you'll end up with a really fancy lawn ornament that doesn't generate a single watt. And then there's option 3. Let me take all the risk for you. Do what over 102,000 folks have already done. Grab your copy of Power Freedom System and start generating power for you and your family in shockingly little time. Like I said, the price of the Power Freedom System will be going up soon. If you leave this site and come back later, it's likely you'll be forced to pay double the low discounted price I'm offering you today. And with my generous 60-day guarantee, there's really no way you can lose. Just click the big Add to Cart button that you see below. You'll be brought right to our secure order page and will be able to grab your copy of the Power Freedom System plus all the bonuses at a whopping discount right away. And like I said, the price of the Power Freedom System has to go up soon. If you leave this site and come back later, it's likely you'll have to pay at least double the low price I'm offering you today. And with my generous 60-day guarantee, there's literally no way you can lose. Listen, when it comes right down to it, this isn't about saving a couple of bucks or getting back at the power company who's been ripping you off for years, although it's pretty cool to do that. It's about taking care of your family. For me, there's no better feeling in the world than knowing that no matter what happens, no matter what kind of storm hits or what kind of disaster takes out my power grid, my little girl is going to be safe and warm and protected. That's why I'm so passionate about getting this simple system into your hands today, so that you can finally know what it feels like to be in control, to always come home to a bright, cheery, and warm house, and to keep the lights on, no matter how dark it might get. I can tell you from experience, it's a pretty great feeling. But the only way I can help you is if you take action right now and click the big Add to Cart button you see below. I can't wait to hear from you. After you get the Power Freedom System, dig into it and find out for yourself how simple and easy it is to stop your energy addiction. Stop relying on the government and the big power companies to keep you and your family safe, and really feel that feeling of pride you'll get from creating your own power. Just click the Add to Cart button right now to join the tens of thousands of people who rave about power freedom. Still here? Well, let me just answer some common questions I get about the Power Freedom System. John Garnett from Flagstaff, Arizona asks, David, I really appreciate what you're doing to help families save money and become energy independent. I really want to do this for my family, but I'm not really technically or mechanically inclined. Can I use the Power Freedom System, or am I going to end up over my head? Hey, John. I totally understand your concern. Most folks think that dealing with electricity has to involve Tesla coils and giant power tools. I got to say that actually one of my main goals with the Power Freedom System has been to make this stuff accessible and affordable for regular people. And that includes, most importantly, ease of use. I said to myself, if I don't succeed in that, then I haven't succeeded. But honestly, I've had everyone from general contractors to a single mom school teacher from Seattle use the Power Freedom System really effectively. Basically, the main tools you're going to need for this are really simple. If you can come up with a handsaw, a small drill, and some screwdrivers, all you have to do is watch the videos, follow the instructions, and you're done. All right? Matt Sorensen from Enumclaw, Washington. I think that's how you say it. Citizens of Enumclaw, don't shoot me. if I said it wrong, okay? Anyway, he asks this. He says, "Hey, David, thanks for doing this. I've been watching my power bill climb like crazy the last few years and was starting to feel totally hopeless. Here's my question. How long will it take for me to get your system? I really want to get started right away." Well, hey, Matt, all I can say to you is this. We ship out the Power Freedom system within 48 hours of your order to get it to you as fast as possible. That's my promise. We know it doesn't do you any good sitting on our shelf. You bought it, you paid for it, we send it as fast as we can. Okay? And, now, here, if there's anybody else out there who still wonders if they can actually do this, here's an email I received from Tony. He writes, "I'm not exactly the handiest of guys. However, I found the instructions in this book to be so easy to follow that I invited my 12-year-old son into the act when it came to building the windmill, and the next thing I knew, he was practically taking over." I love that. Now, here's a really good one. Linda Gladwell from Auburn, Maine asks, "David, money is really tight for me and my family. I looked at commercial solar panels online, and they're way too expensive for me." She says, "I want to try your system, but I'm a little nervous. How can I be sure I can trust your guarantee?" Oh, boy. Linda, I totally understand where you're coming from. You and I don't know each other yet, and it can be nerve-wracking to buy anything online. That's why I only sell this through a company called ClickBank. They are the ones who actually handle the transaction, and they have foolproof buyer protection built in. And the way it's set up is that if you aren't happy for whatever reason, you simply let them know, and you get a refund. I don't even control that, so you can rest assured that you'll be taken care of. But look, I want to say this regardless. I'm a family man. It's nice to make a living doing this, but I am in this to help out families like yourselves, and if I can't be of help, then I don't deserve or want your money. That's maybe an old-fashioned attitude, but that's the way I like to live my life. Treat others as I would want to be treated. Paul Smith from Billings, Montana asks, "Hi, David. It gets pretty dark here in the winters, and the winters are long and cold. Am I even going to be able to get enough sunlight to use the Power Freedom system?" Answer, yup, and here's why. Solar panels work strictly on light, not heat. It doesn't matter if it's cold. In fact, the electronics in solar panels work even more effectively in colder temperatures, which is kind of handy because that's often when you need them the most. This means that a bright winter day can produce just as much electricity as one at the height of summer. Now, what I would add to that is not to say that winter doesn't pose some potential problems, such as panels being covered by snow. Now, usually the heat generated by the panels themselves melts the snow. But if you get a heavy snowfall, I'll show you a quick and easy way to clear your panels, so it's not a problem. And let's see, one more. Jonathan Thomas from Atlanta asks, "I live in a pretty big city and don't have a very big yard. Am I going to have enough space for the Power Freedom system?" Ah, right. I know a lot of people who live in big cities, and when I first started developing the Power Freedom system, this was a big problem. But over the years, I have discovered some ingenious ways around it that will let you produce as much electricity as you need, even in the tightest spots imaginable. So I got you covered there, Jonathan. Because, you see, with solar panels, for example, you've got plenty of options, even in a small yard. You can install them on a pole or a fence, the roof, even windowsills and balconies. It's really simple. And as for wind generators, I'll show you how to make microturbines, okay, that are both small, safe, and very effective at generating power at the lower wind speeds that are common in city areas. All right? Thank you, Jonathan. And that's all the questions I've got right now. All you have to do to get started is click the big Add to Cart button below. You'll be brought directly to the checkout page and will be able to grab the complete Power Freedom system right away. Remember, I have designed this system to be easy to use by regular people and to cost you as little as possible to set up in your home. My goal here is to save you money, to give you all the power you need, and to get you off the grid, just like I did for my family, my friends, and tens of thousands of people all over this great country already. I've opened the door for you. All you have to do is walk through it. Again, my name is David Bradley, and whether you take me up on this generous offer or not, I want to thank you for your time.